Why does he keep coming back? Why does he keep reaching back out to me? Like, why does he keep hoovering me? Why does he keep showing back up at my doorstep? Like, why does he keep doing this over and over? And you start to question yourself and you start to wonder why he keeps coming back. Once you understand a simple concept today, that the narcissist will keep coming back to you as long as you keep the door open to him. That's it. The narcissist will keep coming back to you as long as you keep the door open to him. And people will be like, well, man, that sounds like it's like my job. Yeah, it is. Because if you get to the place where you're aware of the toxicity that's happening and you're not cutting it off, you're not closing the door, you're not healing yourself, then yes, it does become a problem that you're starting to see and that you're starting to deal with. You're like, well, that's not comfortable. No, it's not. I'm not here to make you comfortable. I'm here to wake you up. Because if you're in this current reality and you keep questioning, why does he coming back? You have to flip the question and be like, why do you keep allowing it? You're like, well, I just think he's going to change. Okay, has he changed the past 5 times he's come back? No. Okay, then why are we giving him another chance? I know he has this potential. I've seen it. I've seen how nice he could be. I've seen how connected he was with their kids. Like, I know we could have that back. Have you seen it yet? No. Then why do we keep letting him come back? I don't know how I can live without him. I don't know how I can find someone else who actually will love me, who will care about me like he did. Did he actually love you and care about you? Well, no, not really. That's why he left. Okay, then why are we letting him back? As you start to get to a place where you're aware, people start asking questions that they know the answers to, but they don't want to hear the answers, which is why they ask the questions and then kind of run away from them. Part of that is like, why does he keep coming back into my life? And you need to understand, he keeps coming back into your life because you let him. Period. It's not because he loves you. It's not because he cares about you. It's not because he magically figured all this stuff out and he's magically changed and better. It doesn't happen that fast. It doesn't happen that quick. You're like, but it doesn't make sense. Why would he want to come back to me? He said that the relationship was awful. Yeah, he said that. He said a lot of things. He also lied to you a lot. He might have cheated on you a lot. Like, there's a lot of things he said. Narcissists will say anything to manipulate you, to confuse you, to triangulate you, to get you stuck. We see this happen over and over and over again. When you're inside a toxic relationship, you start to believe his reality. You start to believe his fantasy, and you start to believe that your worth and your value are tied up in him. You start to think that there's not anything else that you can do. There's no other direction you can go. There's no other reality you can have. But instead, this is the only plight that you have on life. Like, you have to go this way. This is the only thing you can do. It leaves you helpless. It leaves you hopeless. It leaves you feeling, I don't know what I can do. I don't know how to actually be free. It leaves you stuck for a long period of time. What I need you to understand is, as you're moving into this, it is a question of why does he keep reaching out over and over and over? Consider for a moment a vending machine. Consider you have this vending machine outside your house that's one of the most incredible vending machines you've ever seen. It can literally give you almost anything. Food, candy, toys, stuff for the house, like you name it. And every time you walk up to this vending machine, there's this button that says press here. And it's the freebie button. And it's really cool because every time you press it, you get something new out of it. Every time you press it, something comes out. And so every time you go up to it, you're like, there's a couple things I want to buy. So let me buy these things out of it. But there's also this button here that's like, let's press it. Let's see what comes out. And you do it every single day. And you're like, it's kind of addictive. Like, I'm always going to get free stuff. Like, this is pretty cool. And you keep pressing it. And there might be a place where you start to realize, hey, if I keep doing this like forever, like I'll eventually run the machine out, right? Like it's eventually going to happen because I'm just taking advantage of it. I'm just doing all this free stuff. Maybe you're gathering where I'm going with this illustration, but I need you to understand in this illustration, you're the vending machine. And the narcissist knows there's at least one avenue into your life. There's at least one button he can press that's going to give him access to you. And as he gets access to you, he's going to get what he wants out of that interaction. Exactly what he wants. The connectedness, the image, pictures of the kids so he looks like a loving dad, the sex, whatever it might be. He's going to get what he wants out of you in that moment and then walk away. And you're like, wait a second, like, why would he keep coming back, do this to me, and then walk away? Because the button's free. The button's a cool challenge. Can I reach up high enough to hit the button? Can I get a free thing from the button? You're the vending machine. The problem is you have so many free buttons on you, you haven't learned your own worth and your own value. So you feel bad when you start actually putting up boundaries. When you put up barriers saying, wait a second, this actually isn't free. You actually have to show up. You have to submit payment so I actually see and understand that you are actually committed this time. But it's hard because you've been so used to giving stuff for free. You're like, well, I don't know. That seems like I just don't have that value. I don't have that worth to actually charge for that, to actually put up a boundary. Like that just feels weird to me. Yeah, it feels weird because you've never lived in that healthy state of saying, hey, I have boundaries and you're not going to cross them. You haven't lived in that healthy state that says, hey, vending machine, gone. It's no longer part of my life. You no longer have access to me. You haven't shown up. You haven't been consistent. You don't have any evidence that you actually love or care or respect about me. So why should I give you access to me? But then we have the question a lot of times people ask, why does he keep coming back? Why does he keep showing up? Why does he keep coming, knocking on my door? Why does he keep... The list goes on and on. What was the answer? He will keep showing up because you keep allowing him to come back. Like, well, what does that even look like? First thing, block, ghost, go no contact. You're like, well, I don't know if I could do that. Okay, then just understand this is going to be the rest of your life. He's going to keep cycling and recycling you over and over and over. But it just feels bad to be able to block him. It feels like he won. How does it feel like you won when you cut off his supply that he's coming to? If anything, he's winning by coming back into your life over and over, pressing that free button and getting whatever he wants from you. That's winning for him. Winning for you isn't being like, hey, I'm going to say no, but you can still come back. But no, like, there's a boundary crossing. Narcissist knows that if you don't block, he can eventually get you. Every time. Every time. You're like, no, I'm so set this time, but I'm not going to block him because if I block him, then it feels like he won. So I'm just going to let all the text messages come through and I'm not going to interact with him. Typically, we never see that. Because one day, one time, someplace, like you will be in an emotional and a mental state that you will respond when triggered correctly. Mainly because you haven't done all the healing, mainly because you haven't fixed the problem, mainly because you haven't removed the vending machine. So as a result, it's still there. You're still used to people pressing your buttons. You're still used to not having boundaries with other people. So how do you know the narcissist is going to stop? You don't know he's going to stop, but you don't know you can limit his ability to interact with you. Why does he keep coming back? Why does he keep reaching out? Because you let him. Have you taken the steps to sufficiently block him on all social media, on all forms of communication, on all interactions that you might have, on your Netflix, on your Zelle, on all different types of things? So you're trying to make sure that he doesn't have access to message you, to interact with you on anything. If you haven't done that, that's the next step. If you're not sure if you can take that step yet, because mentally you're like, I've blocked him like 5 times. Like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. Then please reach out. Because until we change the mindset, the things that are going on inside, it's going to be really hard for you to actually break free. But we can work on the mindset so that when you do go no contact, it sticks and it stays. We have hundreds of people that have walked through our program that has gotten to the place where like, yeah, I went no contact and no more, not interested. He doesn't even like he repulses me, but he doesn't even like show up in a way that I would even interact or want to interact with him. So you need to understand you can be free. The question is, are you going to take that step? The next step today is going to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough to sign up today.